Welcome to Football 101 with one of Jaguars' best defensive players, linebacker Paul Posluszny. Paul, let's get very basic here. If you were explaining the linebacking position to someone who didn't know a lot about football, how would you describe the responsibilities of a linebacker?
The responsibilities of the linebacker are just similar to its name, right? We line up 5 yards behind the D line. And our responsibility at its most basic level is just to get to the football. Our job is to tackle the football. We want to be an aggressive player, and whenever there's a running back coming through the line, whenever they're running the football, it's our job to tackle them. And then when the ball is being thrown, it's our job to drop back into coverage, see the quarterback, see where the ball's thrown, break on it, and try to make a play on the football.
The Jaguars run what's called a 4-3 defense. How does that affect the linebacking core?
4-3 defense means that we have 4 down linemen, and the 3 part of it, we have 3 linebackers. We have a middle linebacker and then 2 outside linebackers on each side. So the middle linebacker generally gets to line up in the middle of the field, try to run sideline to sideline, and you have your 2 outside linebackers who are generally very athletic, very rangy guys that can make a lot of plays on the football.
What does the weak side, what does the strong side mean for a linebacker?
To us, and in the way we set up our defense, the strong side is usually, we say the strong side of our defense is the side that lines up wherever the offensive tight end is. That's generally where offensive teams like to run the football, so that there's a lot of plays going to the tight end side. So we say that's the strong side. So we try to line up certain guys to that side of our defense.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, but when we talk about the linebacking core, we always hear the Mike, the Sam, and the Will. Mm-hmm. What are those guys?
The Mike, I mean, it's just names that we have to help us, where we're lining up. So the Mike is the middle linebacker. He's generally right in the middle of the defense. The Sam generally goes to the strong side, S for strong, obviously. Sam goes to the strong side of the defense, and the Will, opposite to Sam, it goes to the weak side of our defense. So that's generally how, at its most basic level, that's where our guys line up.
Former Jaguar defensive lineman said you want your Mike, a.k.a. middle linebacker, to be a tackling machine. Why is that?
The Mike linebacker, because we get to line up in the middle of the defense, we have the opportunity to get to the ball a lot. A team really shouldn't be able to run away from you because of where you're standing on the field. You should be able to run sideline and sideline. So you generally want a guy in that spot that can really get to the football and make plays on the ball. When
you think of a Hall of Fame linebacker, a guy like Brian Urlacher, what are the characteristics of a linebacker that could eventually end up in the Hall of Fame?
I mean, when you think about the Hall of Fame guys, Brian Urlacher, Ray Lewis, and then you go back and you think about Dick Butkus or Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, those were guys that were very athletic, that were physical, when they had to be, but they could run and they can hit. So they could run in the football, and when they got there, they could hit people and drive the ball carrier back. They could run and hit. That was the 2 main things.
We've talked a lot about tackling, but do you want linebackers to excel in run coverage? Do you want them to be able to excel in pass coverage, or ideally both?
The linebackers need to be the hybrid players on the field. You have your D-line who are very physical up front, and then you have your guys in the secondary who are great against the pass. Linebackers need to be able to do both. We need to be able to play the running game, and we need to be able to drop back into coverage as well. So we're kind of a hybrid spot where we can't concentrate on we are not solely just stop the run or solely playing the pass. We're right in the middle of the field, so we need to be able to do both.
As the middle linebacker, as the Mike linebacker, what's the toughest part about basically being the captain of the defense?
The Mike linebacker is usually responsible for communicating the calls throughout the entire defense. A lot of guys say that he's the quarterback of the defense because he's responsible for making calls, communicating things across the board, and making sure everybody's lined up properly. So you have a lot of responsibility, and you want a guy there that communicates well, and that is able to help guys get lined up and get everybody in the right call.
What's your favorite thing about being a linebacker?
I think it's a great position to be on the field because you have an opportunity to make a lot of plays. You have an opportunity to get to the football a lot. We're protected by the D-line, so during the running game we can usually get downhill fast and attack the ball carrier, and we're still able to make plays in the passing game. So we get the best of both worlds.
And you have the opportunity to hit people really, really hard.
So that's part of the game right there.
All right, thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.